Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, we spent our class time together looking at the Fourth Amendment, the rights that you have if you're ever suspected of a crime in regards to search warrants and arrest warrants. Today, I'd like to visit with you about the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment reads a little wordy. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Let's make this a little bit easier. Let's take out this part right here. And this part right here. Because we know that when you serve in the military, a member of the military has a totally different set of rights than someone that does not serve in the military. So taking out those two lines, we see 5 rights or 5 guarantees here in the Fifth Amendment. Let's take some time and look at them. The first right that you see in the Fifth Amendment is the right to a grand jury if you're being charged with a felony crime. Read that first line again. No person shall be held to answer for a capital. Capital is a death penalty crime or otherwise infamous crime. A felony. Remember, a felony crime could result in you being sent to prison. A person who is being accused of a felony has the right to a grand jury. Now, what is a grand jury? You're familiar with a petit jury. A petit jury decides whether you're guilty or not guilty. But the role of a grand jury takes place before a trial. A grand jury is a jury of your peers that looks at the evidence, doesn't decide whether you're guilty or not guilty, just looks at the evidence and makes a decision. Is there enough evidence to warrant a trial? The Fifth Amendment states clearly that if you are being accused of a felony, you have the right to a grand jury. And what's this jury's job? This grand jury's job is to make sure there's enough evidence to warrant a trial. Let's go down to the 5th line of the Fifth Amendment, and let's look closer at this double jeopardy. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. It's known as double jeopardy. In our country, there is no such thing as double jeopardy. We could ask Arson, we could ask Sebastian about their countries. But in our country, a person cannot be put on trial more than one time for the same crime. So, for example, Nate is accused of robbing a bank, the Commercial State Bank here in Cedar Bluffs, and he's found not guilty. later on the state of Nebraska or the U.S. government finds more evidence against Nate. It doesn't matter. Nate can only be tried once for the same crime. If we look at the sixth line is very popular in movies, and you need to be aware of it. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. What does that mean? It means that you do not have to testify against yourself. You do not need to provide information that could incriminate you. It's referred to as pleading the fifth. If the police, if the government asks you a question, and the response that you would give to that question would incriminate you, you do not have to give them an answer. You're pleading the fifth. As we continue down, we see, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. See, you and I, every American is entitled to due process of law. You're entitled to due process of law by any level of government, including the school. So what does that mean? Due process of law basically means that you will be treated fairly. You will have fair treatment through the judicial system, fair treatment through the government. If Trevor is accused of disrupting the educational environment, the Fifth Amendment guarantees that Trevor will be treated fairly by Miss Hansel, just as much as Sebastian. It means that people can't be treated differently because of who they are or what they did. Now, the last right in the Fifth Amendment is a little bit tricky. It's referred to as eminent domain. Eminent domain is the concept that the government, national, state, or local, has the right to take your private property if it's for the public good. Now, let's say you disagree and you don't think the government taking your land or your property is for the public good. You know the answer. It's up to a court to decide. So eminent domain says the government can take your private property, your land, for the public good. And if you question that, then a judge will decide. However, if the government does take your land for the public good, the Fifth Amendment says that you must be compensated. You must have money given to you. And if the government and you can't come to an agreement of what is a just compensation, then again, the judicial system will decide. So that's our Fifth Amendment. Here's what I'd like you to do for the rest of the class. First, I'd like you to watch the news summary from the PBS NewsHour. And then on Canvas, you'll find two assignments. Assignment 29 from yesterday that deals with the Fourth Amendment, and assignment 30 that deals with the Fifth Amendment. You'll need to download them off of Canvas, and 29 is supposed to be due today, and assignment 30 is due tomorrow. And of course, you can work on those assignments in small groups. So again, first, watch the news summary, and then work on assignment 29 and assignment 30. And I hope you have a good day.